Hello children, let's we continue our topic regarding reflection of light. We have completed till spherical mirrors. We have two types of spherical mirrors, concave and convex mirror. So why do we call concave and convex mirrors as spherical mirrors? Let's we see. Why concave and convex mirrors are called spherical mirrors? Concave and convex mirrors are called spherical mirrors because the reflecting surfaces of concave and convex mirrors are considered to form a part of a hollow sphere. The reflecting surface is not a plane surface. In the sense, a hollow ball, if we take and if we cut it into half or a part of it, we could see inside some cave like structure, outside bulged. So, whatever we take outside one or inside one, both are not plane. These are spherical. So, these are called concave and convex mirrors. Let us go with 14th activity. Take a rubber ball and cut a portion of it with a knife as shown in the figure below. Be careful. The inner surface of the cut piece of a ball is called concave surface and outer surface of it is called convex surface. See, if the reflecting surface of a mirror is concave, it is called concave mirror. If the reflecting surface is convex, then it is called convex mirror. You could see in the images, children. Any convex or concave mirror is a part of sphere. Hence, these mirrors are called spherical mirrors. See, the mirrors which contain curved reflecting surface are called spherical mirrors. The two types, concave and convex. See here, when a ball is cut, it made into two pieces. The inner surface is concave surface. The outer surface is a convex surface, orange color, brownish orange color. See, a sphere gave a cut, we got a curved mirror. See, the outer surface is hard, inner we get reflection. This is a concave mirror. The second image, outside it's a reflecting surface, inside is hard, so outside there is a convex mirror. So that is why concave and convex mirrors are called spherical mirrors. Now next we go to the page number 92. Let us form images with spherical mirrors. How we could get images through spherical mirrors, let's we see with activity 15. Place the concave and convex mirrors on the two different V stands. First, we have to take two different V stands and we have to place convex mirror and a concave mirror on them separately. Put two candles of same size in front of them as shown in figure. Adjust the position of candles to form clear images in the mirrors. Observe the sizes of images and compare them with candle sizes. See, when we placed candles in front of convex mirror and concave mirror, we could see a diminished, in a sense, a small image in the convex mirror and enlarged a big image in the concave mirror. What difference do you notice between the image and object in a convex mirror? In a convex mirror, the image is smaller than the candle. Then what difference do you notice between the image and object in concave mirror? The difference is that the image is enlarged, in the sense it is bigger than the candle which we kept in front of that mirror. So a convex mirror has a diminished image, a concave mirror gives a enlarged image. Can we obtain the images formed by mirrors on the screen? Yes. Let's see with activity 16. Let us do this. Activity 16. Let me try this in a dark room. As we have to see the image on the screen, so let's see. Place a concave mirror on a V stand. Place a lighted candle in front of it. Place a thick white paper or white drawing sheet behind the candle. This acts as a screen. Now adjust the distances between candle and mirrors, screen and mirror by moving them either forward or backward till a clear image appears on the screen. Repeat the activity using a convex mirror and a plane mirror in place of concave mirror. Images of which mirror are formed on the screen? Images of concave mirror are formed on the screen. The images that can be obtained on a screen is called a real image. We can see this image in the mirror too. The image that cannot be obtained on a screen but can be seen only in the mirror is called a virtual image. Okay. could see here in the image a concave mirror kept in front of the candle. Back of it a white paper has been. So you could see here, children, a clear image is formed on the screen. This is the real image. You could see the image can also be formed in the mirror. If the image is formed only on the mirror, not on the screen, it's called a virtual image. You could see here the image that can be obtained on a screen is called real image. You can see this image in a mirror too. The image that can't be obtained on a screen but can be seen only in the mirror is called virtual image. Okay, did you get the differences between real image and virtual image, children? I hope so. Think, every day we see our image in a plane mirror. Is it a real or virtual image? How can you decide? Find out this, children. I'll discuss it tomorrow. Think today. Next, have you noticed the surface of reflection in a torchlight or in a headlight of a vehicle? Did you see or no? Let's see. Observe the torchlight or headlight of a vehicle. You notice a concave mirror behind the bulb. Whatever the bulb kept inside the torch or the headlight, we see a concave mirror behind it. Due to this concave surface, the brightness of a small bulb is increased. In the sense, the area which we wanted to focus will be given more light, and it could be focused and we could see the front, what it is in front of the vehicle. So we use a concave mirror. Imagine what happens if the surface of reflection in the torch or in a headlight of a vehicle is convex, like in the figure as shown. Let's see. See, a torchlight. It has a concave mirror. In the headlights of a vehicles, you could see. Next, when the flashlights and car headlights all have concave mirrors, why would it not be a good idea to use convex mirrors instead? Let's see. When we use a flashlight or a car headlight, we want the resulting light to be concentrated in a certain area which we want to see clearly. Isn't it or not, children? The light emanating from the bulb used in a flashlight or a car headlight spreads out in all directions. So we need something to ensure that most of the rays of light converge towards a desired direction. Converge in the sense come towards. For this purpose, we need a converging mirror, and hence concave or parabolic mirrors are used. If we use a convex mirror, as it is a diverging mirror, rays of light which are close to each other move away from each other after reflection on the convex surface, which is not what we want. We can't focus at one place whatever we wanted to see, as the rays are moving away in all directions. Hence convex mirrors are not used. Only we use concave mirrors. This is about the topic for today. Next we continue in the next class.